With organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade to assure our youth have the financial acumen to succeed. Parkside EDC provides families and businesses with financial insights, offering free online, on-site, and on-air B-Warp presentations. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Programs helps our community acquire, sustain, and pass down legacy wealth. High school seniors can apply for this year's scholarship awards at parksideedc.org. Scholarships will be awarded at Parkside EDC's Gospel/Jazz Brunch on Sunday, April the 27th. For details, tickets, or donations, please visit parksideedc.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not to unsettle you. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in to First Things First with the Queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Happy Monday. God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is called First Things First, and my very first thing every day, giving thanks, giving praises, asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and getting it rolling, and roll along we shall. It is a Monday, so that means hour one, we look local. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic, etc., etc., etc. Today is a messy Monday, defined as the third Monday of the month when we talk relationship mess. Also, we'll start out our second hour with our Mindful Monday, our affirmation, little outlook, and some guided meditation. So we pack a lot in on a Monday, and I want to give thanks to everyone who came out on Friday to the presentation of the People's budget to the mayor of LA. We'll talk more about that on tomorrow, but it was quite a powerful evening. And of course, hope you all had a lovely Easter and a great 420. Happened to fall on the same day. And happy Easter Monday, whatever you're celebrating. For all my Catholics listening, condolences to you on the loss of the Pope, who made his transition at the age of 88. We are talking all things Hawthorne today, all things LA, but all things Hawthorne. The Hawthorne Business Expo and Job Fair is coming up this week on Thursday, and joining me in the studio live and in person, we have the Mayor Pro Tem of the city of Hawthorne, elected to the Hawthorne City Council in 2022. She's made her name helping the unhoused, working on public safety, economic development, and investing in young people and seniors as her priority. Before she was elected, she served as the president of the Holly Park Homeowners Association and the Hawthorne Park and Recreation Commissions. Continues to serve on other volunteer commissions and boards, but currently it's all about the Hawthorne Business Expo. Mayor Pro Tem Katrina Manning, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be here. Always glad to be in your presence. Thank you.
And yours as well.
Thank you.
For those who don't know her personally, Mayor Pro Tem Katrina Manning is a ball of energy, just getting stuff done wherever she goes. And I understand that Hawthorne Business Expo is like a long-term project of the city, but
Oh, wow.
you have brought it back and really brought it back to prominence.
Yeah, so it's so great to be able to put this together because it has 3 events going on concurrently. And when you talk about bringing together people, this is an opportunity for us to bring together not only our panel discussion, but the business expo and job fair. And with the economy we currently have, a lot of folks being laid off, this is the perfect opportunity for people to come out and get jobs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the things we try to focus on around here is business development, wealth building. We do Wealth Building Wednesday every week. So these are basic principles of how to thrive and how to make best use of your money. And that's one thing about, this is my second year doing the Hawthorne Business Expo. I'll be
Thank
there,
you.
of course. Happy to do it. It is a multi-layered thing. It is a job fair, so you could go there with your resume, go and apply for jobs. But it's also really a networking opportunity for businesses, both those that are trying to start their businesses, those that are looking to procure some kind of services from someone, and people who just want to know the lay of the land in Hawthorne as far as who's operating and what opportunities are there.
Yeah, so one of the things that you said was an opportunity to network. And thinking about that, when I was putting this idea together, one of the things I said, I want them to have an opportunity to network without having the attendees there amongst each other, business to business. So we start out with our expo for the businesses to network with each other, to support each other and see how they can collaborate a little bit later. And then when we actually have the expo, which starts at 3 p.m., they have an opportunity to network with potential new clients, new businesses. We have folks coming from everywhere to participate in our business expo. So it definitely is a great opportunity. And not only that, you get to go into the panel discussion and listen to some really important information that could help your business. Even if you're a business that's thriving and you need to make some changes in it, you can hear about those success, what worked, what didn't work, what could possibly work, because there's always an opportunity to grow your business.
Right. And of course, from my experience with those panel discussions, each one of them could be a show of First Things First. There are topics that are relevant. Then you've got real movers and shakers in those industries. So what ends up happening, you get the opportunity to hear from and meet people that you might otherwise not have access to.
Yeah. Also, I try to really be mindful when I'm picking out the speakers to bring jobs that or careers or industries that people wouldn't normally think about. So we have Martin Ortega, who owns a barbershop. He's owned it in our city for the last 10 years. And so, before, folks didn't think owning a barbershop was lucrative, but he's here to tell you that it is. And then we talk about skincare. Folks don't think about that. So I tried to make sure I was really mindful in bringing different types of speakers. We have Lance, who is a Grammy Award winning producer, and folks don't definitely have access to producers who are Grammy nominated and thriving in their career. And you get to ask those questions about, well, what did you do? Where did you start? How did you make it? So I'm really excited to see what comes from our speakers this year.
Yeah, Rance Dobson is someone you probably wouldn't meet walking down the street, but he's worked with Beyonce. He's worked with top people in the industry. And of course, 1500 or Nothing is a school,
Yes.
a production studio,
Yes.
and a cultural hub. So there's something which we think of in one aspect, but the 1500 or Nothing business model has expanded it to have a lot more facets to it as a business.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this so great, is because if you're interested in that industry, he has this academy that you can participate in and go to and learn those, learn those nuggets that normally you wouldn't get. But again, access. And that's what I love. I love being able to pour into our community and to provide access, because access and knowledge is really powerful. And that's how you're able to thrive in your life, when you know what's going on and you know how to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's budget season right now. The mayor of LA will present her budget today and her state of the city today. We are in very fraught times, as you pointed out, a lot of people losing their jobs. How do you see that landscape, not just for jobs, but for businesses? It's kind of giving COVID a little bit in terms of extreme conditions with the tariffs on the horizon. 10% is already on everything. And if you're talking about China, it's, I think, 154. Mm-hmm. But more to come, and we're not sure what that looks like.
Yeah, as an elected official, it's a very scary time. A lot of folks are out of work, and it's a trickle-down effect. No matter what space you're in, you're going to be affected, whether you're a business owner, you're an employee, you're a student, a community advocate. So many people rely on government funding, support, and those dollars that those people make, they put in back into our community. And when those dollars are not coming back into our community, we get in debt. And how do we get out of debt if we don't have the support? So it's really scary times. And, we're all trying to scramble and figure out how we're going to make something out of nothing. But what I can say is that I believe in God, and I believe God is going to take care of us. And for me, all of my entire life, he always show up at the right time. It may not be in my timing, but he shows up in the right time. And so I really believe that whatever it is that you're doing, just don't give up. Just keep on pushing, and don't let outside factors affect your vision to keep doing what you're doing. We've had hard times in the past, and this is not the first time we've had to deal with difficult times, and we've been able to get through. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be a struggle, but you will make it through. You just got to believe. And coming to this job fair and Business Expo will provide you with some of the information you need to be able to forge forward.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. When, I do my best not to focus too much on the fear, although the unknown,
yes,
and the erratic nature of the change that we're seeing at the moment does make it can shatter your confidence. One thing that I would think would make a lot of sense, aside from the fellowship part, is just arming ourselves with knowledge, as much knowledge as we can about the conditions for businesses, for job seekers, and what industries might be growing as others are shrinking or disappearing. But to your point, it's a great point. If 100 federal workers are laid off in one town or community, that's 100 sandwiches that aren't going to be bought at the local sandwich store every day. That's 100, cars that might not be parking in city garages and giving revenue to that city. And I'm just using 100. It's a low number,
Sure.
But I'm using it as an example. So I think that looking ahead and talking to business leaders that are already doing research and making adjustments can be all the difference right now. And so I think rather than freaking out, the best thing to do is arm ourselves with knowledge, courage, and human resources, which is each other. Mayor Pro Tem of Hawthorne, Katrina Manning, is here. You're welcome if you have a question or you just want to join the conversation. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Hi, I'm Dominique DiPrima, and it's almost time to celebrate KBLA's 4th anniversary, coming up Juneteenth 2025. we'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-9651.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the voice of reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, we're back to Dominique DiPrima, but we're also back to Hawthorne City Council person and Mayor Pro Tem Katrina Manning. We're talking business, and I was dissecting how the landscape for business and for jobs is unpredictable at the moment and subject to change without notice from erratic leadership in Washington. And you had something to add to that.
Yeah, so knowing that our community is scared and nervous, I wanted to host a town hall and share with our community some of the things that they really need to be concerned with and what the future look like. Our Congresswoman, Maxine Waters, is out there fighting for us. And, you know, having her out there, knowing that she's going to be real with our community, she's going to tell it like it is, which I adore and love about her. But those things that we need to be concerned about, we'll have an opportunity to learn about that as well. But in addition to that, when you talked about what are the jobs that are going to be coming out, what are the jobs that are going to be keeping, because we also have to think about the fact that we're losing some of those jobs to AI as well.
Yeah.
And so just being prepared. But one of the things that I definitely suggest folks do is get out there and see what's available in terms terms of funding for training for a new job. We do still have opportunities out there to get trained. Places like the South Bay Whip, they offer free training. And then we also have some of the unions you can also go and join. But those are some of the places that you can go and get training for these new opportunities that are coming out there. So I definitely would say stay ready. So you don't have to get ready. Go out there and learn a new skill Go to the junior colleges. Go anywhere that's offering free training for potentially some of the new jobs that'll be coming. One of the jobs that I can tell you that is definitely trending is gaming. You have a lot of young folks that are playing video games out there, and they don't know that that's how they can make a lucrative salary. You know, you look at all the movies, the entertainment industry that's coming out, and they're using those people for that type of thing. So that's another thing that you could possibly learn about at the Business Expo, potential new opportunities that are coming in the industry job landscape.
Yeah, me and Miles talk about that all the time, the AI invasion, really, which is already here. And I think a lot of folks, especially those who are chronologically gifted, as Tavis says, they don't realize that it's already here. It's not futuristic. It's right now. And my contention, to your point, again, is that AI will take a lot of jobs, but it will also create jobs, and we don't know what those are, but we can certainly start to imagine. You think back to the internet. When the internet first came out, everyone was freaking out about how it took jobs, and it did. But it also created jobs. There was no such thing as an influencer. There, you know what I mean? There was no such thing as a social media management firm, which is now a huge thing that people pay a good amount of money for. So there are jobs that are going to be created, and the only way to be aware of that, and advantages, I would imagine, for businesses as well, especially the small businesses. We really cannot be the last to adapt this technology.
So one of the things that I would like to add is that even though AI is out there, someone has to say the prompts. Someone has to key in that information. So people do forget that AI can't work by itself, right? Somebody has to put in a prompt. Somebody has to type in a prompt to say, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Yes, it's going to take away some jobs, but like you said, it's going to create jobs. And some of those jobs are putting in those prompts, putting in that information, because AI works best when you input information and it learns how you write, how you talk, how you work, and someone has to enter that information into the system. So I'm excited to see. If you think about our history, there's always a time where things are changing. You know, the Industrial Revolution. You know, I was just watching how America was built, and it talked about how we went from trains to cars to Fords, and how we went from, you know, lamps to lighting.
And I'm laughing because there were probably people at every stage going, "Oh, I'm going to lose my job."
Exactly.
You know, the person that put on the horseshoes, the guy that serviced the trains, but somehow another opportunity comes forward. We got to be ready for them.
Yeah, you just got to be ready. And how you get ready is you attend places like the City of Hawthorne Business Expo and Job Fair to hear what's going on. You know, the people that we're talking to, they range from young people to mature people who have been in this industry either for a short time or a long time, and they're, you know, educated on what's going on because their businesses have to stay afloat and stay with the change of times. So they are very knowledgeable, and they're going to spread that information. So you want to make sure that you show up to be able to hear what's going on?
They have, it's free, by the way.
Free. Yes,
they want you
absolutely.
to register hawthornebusinessexpo.org.
Yes.
It's free.
It is absolutely 100% free. We want you to register so we know how many free bags that we want to, that we need to give out for, that says Business Expo. And then Advance Air is our platinum sponsor, so their name will be on the books. But even Advance Air, being able to know how that aerospace industry is changing. We also have our aerospace industry guest panelists that'll be there speaking about what's going on. Aerospace is never going anywhere. There's always going to be opportunity in there, no matter who's in office.
As long as Jeff Bezos wants to send his girlfriend into space, there's always a job for you. But I mean, back to this idea of access. Well, we've met a couple of the people so far that are going to be there throughout the days, and we'll meet more as this week unfolds. But we met Cheryl Bender from Long Beach City, HR administrator. She had some great conversations, some things I did not know. But you've got Julie Klaus, who's the director of the LA U.S. Small Business Administration. That's someone you might not have access to.
Absolutely. And she was on our panel discussion last year, and she was so amazing.
Yes.
I said, I cannot afford to not bring her back, because she not only provide really great information, but she also provide access to having folks come and work for you for free. She has so much information to provide to a small businesses to help you get through those times when there's hard and you need some funding, or you need some employees to work for you for a short period of time while you manage through your challenges. They also offer counseling to help you understand what you should be doing, what you need to do. If you just starting, they can help you create a business plan. So having her, when I tell you, you come here and you hear what she has to say, you're going to get on your knees and thank God that you've had the opportunity to hear what she has to say.
We're up against news, traffic, and sports. Continuing the conversation when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Alexandria Icamoni with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The passing of Pope Francis today at the age of 88 means it's time to choose a new pontiff, and with that comes plenty of speculation. While any baptized Roman Catholic male can technically be elected as pontiff, the Pope has traditionally been chosen from the College of Cardinals since the 14th century. Congestion pricing remains on in New York City despite the federal government's Easter deadline to end the controversial toll. Black drivers and others coming into Manhattan are still paying the $9 toll that Governor Hochul and officials say is needed to help pay for public transit projects throughout the city. African-American Charlie Wilson is mapping out a tour featuring Babyface, Casey Haley, and El DeBarge. The Uncle Charlie's R&B Cookout Tour kicks off in August. A new report suggests there weren't likely nearly as many dyed eggs this Easter weekend due to cost. Get BIN News on demand at BINnews.com.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the tackle? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers are back in action tonight in Denver in the first round of the NBA playoffs. The number one item for the Clippers in Game 2 has to be ball handling. The Clippers had 20 turnovers Saturday in their 2-point loss to Denver in Game 1. That was the Clippers' first loss since March 30th at Cleveland. 7 p.m. tip-off tonight on TNT. The Lakers and Houston Rockets, the number 3 and number 2 seed in the Western Conference playoffs, are the only playoff teams to lose Game 1 at home. All 4 home teams in the Eastern Conference were winners in Game 1. The Lakers have some extra time to make improvements after their Game 1 loss to Minnesota Saturday night. Game 2 is Tuesday night at Crypto.com. Former Tennessee quarterback Nico Imaliva made it official. The Long Beach native is transferring to UCLA. Imaliva confirmed his decision on Instagram. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit casmpvolunteer.org. Protect yourself from Medicare card scams. Scammers may call, email, or even knock on your door claiming they need your Medicare info, asking for money or threatening to cancel your benefits. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Remember, Medicare doesn't need to verify your information. They already have it. Medicare won't charge you for a new card and will never threaten to cancel benefits. Check your Medicare statements for suspicious charges and report scams to the California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080. We're here to help.
At Exquisite Family Mortuary, we know how overwhelming it can be planning a meaningful farewell for your loved one. Secure your peace of mind by calling Charlotte White at 323-577-5562. That's Charlotte White at 323-577-5562. From traditional funeral services to memorials to direct cremation, pre-needs, and more. Call Charlotte White at Exquisite Family Mortuary for Southern hospitality in Southern California. That's Charlotte White at 323-577-5562. Exquisite Family Mortuary is located nearby in Inglewood, California. Exquisite Family Mortuary, where your loved one becomes our loved one.
After producing an award-winning climate justice campaign in 2024, KBLA Talk 1580 has gone all in on its 2025 Climate Justice plus Black Health Initiative. April is Minority Health Month, and Urban Family Focus in partnership with Providence Health Systems presents The Heart of the Matter. Providence doctors and health equity officers will participate in informative and life-changing conversations on hypertension, health equity, behavioral health, and community engagement. Don't miss these empowering conversations on Urban Family Focus every Saturday in April at 7 and Sunday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sponsored by Providence, Southern California's largest and most comprehensive health care network. We've got a lot to talk about on KBLA Talk 1580. Download the KBLA 1580 app or log in to KBLA1580.com. I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. On KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And we are talking business, jobs, how to get your life together on that aspect, and you know the environment that we're faced with today. And it is bumpy, but it's interesting because I know from past crises, particularly 2020 and the emergency phase of COVID, that small businesses generate a lot of the jobs, especially locally and particularly for ethnic communities, right? Black folks, Latinos, whoever may or may not have challenges with the mainstream sort of corporate world. We create those opportunities in our own community. So the thriving of these small businesses and job seekers is connected.
So what I wanted to say is that what's so interesting statistically, it shows that the fastest growing business today are home businesses. So out of the COVID, a lot of folks decided that they wanted to start. This was a great time to start their own business. And so now we have a lot of businesses that have started from home, and we have a plethora of businesses that have started from home. And so I'm just so happy to see that, because people are taking leadership to a whole different level. People are looking at their futures in terms of, if I want to have something for the rest of my life, I can't do it by working specifically for the rest of my life here at a corporation or a company. I want to expand into entrepreneurship. And this is why our panels are all entrepreneurs that'll be able to tell you how they got their start. We wanted to make sure that if working at a company is not for you and you want to take if you want to take a different approach and you want to work for yourself, we have those entrepreneurs that'll tell you what are some of the challenges, what are some of their failures, what do they have to go through to get to that next point. So in our community, City of Hawthorne, we have companies and small entrepreneurs, small businesses, and some of our businesses are thriving. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a beauty salon, we have a hair salon, we have barbershops. We have our gentleman who has his own aerospace company. I mean, there are so many different small businesses and entrepreneurs can thrive. And Julie, who can help you in so many ways if you want to start your own businesses. So I suspect out of the fear that we have, we'll see a lot of new entrepreneurs that will come forth and start their own business in addition to those jobs, because again, we're in a climate where a lot of folks are being laid off and they're looking for their next opportunity. And some of those folks will become entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I remember during the emergency phase of COVID, so many small businesses went out of business altogether. But then very quickly, especially Black businesses, bounced back, and we saw the level of black business ownership actually rise above where it was. So that speaks to our resilience and exactly what you're saying. And I'm looking at some of these panelists. You were talking about Julie Close from the SBA. Important also for those impacted by the fire, any fire, but, particularly, of course, I'm thinking Altadena Eaton, because the Small Business Administration is now providing loans for people to bounce back, their businesses to bounce back, for example, from that. And they probably have other programs that I don't even know about it, because I learned about a bunch of them last year from listening to her.
Yeah, so it's so interesting that you say that, because a whole community is going without. And so her staff reached out to me to tell me about the small business loans, and I thought, oh my God, this is such a great idea. Again, it's a great idea, support, because if you don't know that that's available and you want to continue your business and you've lost everything, here's an opportunity to get that funding, those loan supports. In addition to that, which brings me to the City of Hawthorne. When that happened, I thought to myself, how as a city can we help those folks that have lost? And I really truly support our young folks in education, so I started a book drive for those kids who lost their schools and needed books. And so the City of Hawthorne, not only did we provide books, but we also provided mental health and free mental health support, which brings me to, we're going to have the mental health department at our business expo, because dealing with all of the things that are going on, your mental health is so important. You need that to stay in the game. And it could be overwhelming. It could be stressful. And we have those folks there that could help and address your needs in terms of support. So we have telehelp, our telehealth van that's there to give out free mental health support, and Department of Mental Health that's going to be there too. So we have to really think about, if we're going to have to deal with these next challenging 3.5 years. What does that look like in terms of our mental health? How do we survive? How do we not stress out and freak out? It's hard not to, but if you have that support can help you get through those challenging times. So when I was thinking about putting this together, I tried to think every aspect that could potentially affect you. We have Dion D-Lashes from, she has a wellness spa.
In Beverly Hills, yes, we met her. She was amazing.
And so, you need that self-care, you need that support mentally, and then you need those resources, you need access. So we're trying to make sure in the city of Hawthorne that whatever you need, we will have available at the Hawthorne Business Expo job fair and panel discussion.
Yeah, great points all. I have a friend, Marie Deary, who has a wealth management business doing financial management. And she's talked to me about how business owners get so stressed. The mental health goes over to the physical health, and it can actually destroy businesses because people are no longer able to lead their organization, their business organization. So that's pretty forward thinking, I think, of you guys to have that there. We've got Willie on the phone calling us from Palmdale. Good morning, Willie.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning to your guests. I was well, you kind of touched on it about the during COVID, when they was talking about only people that was allowed to really move around was the essential people, and I was wondering what was the essential workers. And
what do you mean?
That was
you
my
mean
question.
where were the essential workers now, or in terms of Hawthorne Business Expo, or in terms of the layoffs and the environment we're in right now? I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
Yeah, I guess I'm way off. I guess I was talking about during COVID when people was they was talking about essential workers was the only one that was allowed to move around.
Okay, so connect it to where we are now. Connect this to where we are now, Willie.
Wow, you know what, Dominique? I really can't connect it. Only thing I can say is that I had got some work being a pet sitter.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the essential workers are still essential, but what's essential and what's not essential is always due to interpretation, and given the current administration, what they consider essential appears to be very different. And when you look at federal workers being laid off in the Health and Human Services Department, for example, during a measles outbreak, when you look at the Head Start programs being shut down, when actually childcare and schooling is at a crisis level in our country, especially for business owners and job seekers, their definition of what's essential is going to be very different. I think if we were in the emergency phase of COVID today, under this administration, who knows what would be considered essential.
I just wanted to add, Willie, that you said you did pet sitting. That's definitely an area where a lot of folks are looking. A lot of times people travel and they can't travel because they need somebody to pet sit. So I encourage you to continue to look for that type of work, because it's a lot of work out there available as it regards to pet sitting.
Yeah, I would think especially in LA,
absolutely,
where there's a lot of people that have to travel around for their jobs, and a lot of folks got pets, particularly during COVID.
Yeah.
800-920-1580. That's the number Willie called. I invite you to do the same. Appreciate you always, Willie, and your support of this radio station. We'll continue our conversation. We're talking business. We're talking jobs. We're talking expansion when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key, fly privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
This is Stevie Wonder, calling on Los Angeles property owners to help get unhoused veterans off the street. If you're a property owner or know someone who is, consider accepting veteran housing vouchers. You will receive guaranteed rent while providing a stable and safe home. Help end veteran homelessness and make a real difference in people's lives.
Learn more by emailing houseourvets@lacity.org.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Mayor Pro Tem of the city of Hawthorne is in the building, 800-920-1580. If you got something to say, that's what Willie did, or you can check in our YouTube comment section. Lots of stuff happening there always. That's at KBLA 1580 at youtube.com. So, Mayor Pro Tem, you also have a Mother's Day brunch, but this is only for people who live in Hawthorne. Anyone can come to the Hawthorne Business Expo. The Mother's Day brunch, you're going to have to register, and it's free, but you got to be from Hawthorne. That's K Manning at cityofhawthorne.org.
Yes.
So you can hit K Manning at cityofhawthorne.org. And if you are from the city and you want to have a free Mother's Day brunch, that's May 10th, then you can go.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is now my third Mother's Day that I'll be hosting for the city of Hawthorne. And we always have such a great time. We're going to have live entertainment. You're going to receive a beautiful Mother's Day gift. It's lots of fun. We're going to have music selection you don't want to miss out on. We're going to have the Wild Bunch performing at this Mother's Day. And so we have lots of folks that come out, other elected officials that come out and support us. So please make sure you register and don't miss out this year for our Mother's Day brunch and award ceremony.
Okay, a lot going on in the city of Hawthorne. That's good thing. That's a good thing. Looking at, we were talking about the many small businesses that will be there and the networking that can happen. You mentioned Dee Lashes and Diane Valentine's, beauty founder, TV personality. But there's also some bigger businesses like J.P. Morgan Chase is represented.
Yes.
So it's a range.
So we have Live Nation. We have Connecticut Bank. We have so many small businesses, bigger businesses too. I definitely can't forget the city of Hawthorne. We're going to have a table there as well. We're looking to hire folks as well We have the Black Los Angeles Chamber that's going to be participating.
Chamber of Commerce, yeah.
Yeah, Chamber of Commerce. They're going to be there.
It's amazing how many of us who have small businesses don't even think about joining our local Chamber of Commerce, but that's actually another source of support.
Absolutely. They work really hard to make sure they're researching access information, funding, all of those things. They provide that to those small businesses. And I strongly encourage small businesses to join their chamber because they are amazing as it regards to making sure that you have the information you need to thrive, whether it be getting a loan, getting funding. And there's a lot of money out there. Well, maybe.
Back to our uncertain time.
Yeah.
There has traditionally been a lot of money.
Been a lot of money for small businesses out there. And so I strongly encourage you to go join your chamber because even if they can't provide you funding, they know about small loans that you can get, that you can use. And they also know about access to labor, free labor. They provide free labor. They connect you to resources that offer you free labor. And currently, I have a couple of interns where the state has a program where they actually pay interns to come and work for your company. And who couldn't use an intern?
Right.
You're pouring, it's kind of like you get to do a couple of things at once. You get to get that free labor. You also get to pour into our youth. And then you also get to help somebody be employed. So being able to do all of those things, those services are available for us. We just got to use them. We got to show up and make sure that we're looking for that information. And that's why it's so important that you come to Hawthorne Business Expo and Job Fair.
Okay, so that's happening Thursday, this week. It's from 3 to 7 p.m., so it's kind of like a happy hour after work type situation. Not that they're having drinks, by the way. It's at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. If you haven't been there, it's a beautiful spot. It's big and spacious. It's at 3901 West El Segundo Boulevard in the city of Hawthorne. What about DEI? Speaking of elephant in the room, a lot of us, small businesses are being impacted by it indirectly. Not thinking so much about the job layoffs, but they're pots of money, whether it be small business support, whether it be corporations that have DEI dollars that they're designating for Black-owned businesses. Navigating that is a whole other.
Yeah, so navigating that is truly, truly a challenging thing. But I strongly believe that they're going to still have DEI, but it may be called something different. We contribute, the DEI community contribute so much to these companies that they can't afford to not have us do that work. And so they'll eventually come back, but maybe they'll rename it in something else. So I'm not too worried about that. I know that the minority community has put a lot into these businesses and they're thriving not only for the labor, but also from the money that we put into their organizations.
I mean, look at Target.
Yeah.
They've seen a perilous sales drop. Now they want to meet with Al Sharpton. I don't think that's going to do it. No shade to Mr. Sharpton. But we're talking about the regular rank and file people who are now over you. And I would really feel like they would need to do something a little bit more substantive than just having a meeting with Mr. Sharpton.
Yeah, they're going to have to change the way they think. And I think a lot of people are going to be changing when they look to the future and they look at their sales and they look at their bottom line and they think about, well, am I going to listen to someone who's telling me how I should run my business, or I'm going to run my business that's going to continue to make profits and so that I can continue to have my bottom line being met? And some of those organizations that have shareholders as well, those folks are going to say, we want to make sure that we're pleasing our shareholders. So I think that it's going to be a very short time that we have to ignore this DEI situation. I think it's going to be changing in a way where folks are going to say, you know what, we're going to forego that and we need you here. But I do believe that maybe it's going to change, because I feel like every time we hit a roadblock, we do something new and we call it something different. But we've been doing this for quite some time. We just keep changing the name and moving folks around.
Yeah, well, I think you're right in terms of just the numbers. We crunch the numbers. There's a lot of Black folks, a lot of others who are just not willing to be. We could be disregarded, but we're not willing to be disrespected, and that has to be the bottom line. We want to go to the Hawthorne Business Expo. What do we do?
You can go online and you can register at hawthornebusinessexpo.com and sign up, or you can reach out to us and register at 310-349-2913. But go to the City of Hawthorne website, and you will find all you need to know about the expo, about the speakers, about some of the businesses that'll be attending there, which I'm so excited to have some of the folks that like Live Nation, JP Morgan, Connecta Bank, Ford, South Bay Ford. All of these people are coming, and folks are still hiring. Folks are looking for folks that need an opportunity. So my takeaway today for you is don't freak out. Get ready so you will be ready. Stay ready. Come get the information that you need to be successful.
Well, Mayor Pro Tem, Council Member Katrina Manning, thank you so much for coming in and joining us today, and thanks for all you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me. And most importantly, I'm excited to have you host our Business Expo panel discussion for the second time in a year. I think you're amazing. And I love the work that you do for our community, and you keep us abreast of what's going on. And so we are so grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Her phone is blowing up, but she's busy at the moment. HawthorneBusinessExpo.org, HawthorneBusinessExpo.org. We've got news, traffic, and sports. Then it's time for Mindful Monday and Wide Open Phones. A lot to look forward to on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Alexandria Icamoni with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The passing of Pope Francis today at the age of 88 means it's time to choose a new pontiff, and with that comes plenty of speculation. While any baptized Roman Catholic male can technically be elected as pontiff,